Hi, I'm Cindy Wilt Colville, and I'm a music publishing and songwriting consultant. And I've been doing this for about 4 years, but before that, I've been in the music business for 26 years. My first job was as a receptionist at a very small boutique company called Lorenz Creative Services. And it was just the perfect place for me to be. There were producers, songwriters, artists. A producer, Greg Nelson, was part of this small boutique production company, and got to meet him, and he and I just struck up a conversation, a friendship, and then he needed a production manager. So I worked with Greg for about 6 years, then took a little break, went away, went back to New York City, worked in ministry for a couple of years, then got a call from Dave Clark, a songwriter in town, saying, "Hey Cindy, would you be interested in being a publisher?" And I went, I don't think I really want to do that. Well, he just said, "Would you at least interview for the position?" And it was obviously one of the best decisions of my life. And so I relocated back to Nashville, worked at Benson for 6 years. I spent 5 years as a creative director. So I learned what it was to develop songwriters and artists, and then was there for 6 years, then went to Word. I was hired over at Word and was there for 9 years and left as the vice president of publishing. I am an independent music publisher and songwriting consultant. And for the last 4 years, my focus has been primarily on independent songwriters, songwriting communities, and church communities of songwriters. Those are 3 areas that I am very passionate about. My philosophy of songwriting development is that you start right where the writer is. You start with their passion, what their skill set is. And then I find and give them the tools to take whatever talent they're bringing to the table and move them forward. My role is to come in and equip the songwriter with how to be sure that the songs are communicating the big idea effectively. So the credible feedback is probably the most valuable service that I can provide. And I do that through a catalog assessment. I take 10 songs, which seems like a lot, but it really gives me a great understanding of where you are in your process of songwriting. Every independent songwriter has their own process. And so I will go through and say, you have a tendency to never quite get the payoff in the chorus as strong as it could be. Or your choruses are great, but your verse melodies feel very linear. They feel very flat. They don't have a freshness to them. And so your first line of a song is critical to the success of having a listener listen and keep listening. So engaging the listener. So we're going to work together. The option is the assessment, but then I do writer development, where I will give you all of the feedback and how to make those songs better and move them forward. But often you want help. You need help to just how do you rewrite? I will walk through the rewrite process through writer development, and I usually make a 3-month minimum, because again, songwriting is a journey. And it's developing your process. So I'm not just working on your songs, just getting your songs better. I want to equip you with tools to grow as a songwriter. The qualities that I look for in a songwriter is, number 1, teachable. They want to get better. And understanding, again, that it's a process, it's a journey. It's not a quick fix. It's not just this miraculous, you just became a great writer. So teachableness is huge. Responsiveness to feedback. I went to a writer's night just this week in Nashville. And I was listening to all the writers sing their songs. Some had incredible voices, but even a great voice can't make a bad song work. So even if you have the most phenomenal voice in the world and you're singing songs that aren't connecting with an audience, eventually people aren't going to be listening anymore. And again, it doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter if you're 17 or if you're 50. That's what I love about the whole songwriting community, is there's a place for anyone who's willing to be teachable, take feedback, and just be open to the process in developing. The church has many, many opportunities for ministry and using music. Music is so powerful. So if you have someone who writes children's music, great. If you have someone who's called to senior ministry, to going into nursing homes and providing them with content, that's all valuable. So the church is the perfect context, and what I provide is the tools. I provide the objective evaluation of songs, and I teach that to the worship team, the leadership team. And that is one of the most valuable offerings that I bring, is how do we build creative, quality content. And that's the value of partnering with me and bringing me in as part of developing your songwriting community. One of the most exciting opportunities I had this year was leading a songwriting intensive retreat, where I brought writers in, or I should say they came in to participate in this, and there were 24 songwriters from around the country. It was an exciting adventure to bring these total strangers together, spend a weekend, and all we did all weekend was write songs. We teamed them up. I strategically teamed them into pairs, co-writing teams. And they would have 3 hours to go and write a song. Then they would bring their song back. I would give them feedback. Then we'd talk about the value of rewriting. And it was exciting. We brought in Sam Mizell as our professional writer to come in. And they presented their songs to Sam, and he would give them feedback. They had an hour to go and rewrite their song and bring it back. And it was just this exciting adventure. And then to see the community of songwriters form. I hope that you will check out my website. And my website is cindywiltcolville.com. And Songwriting Intensive Retreat 2013, details to come.